And welcome to week 2 of Pat and Go with Paul Browning. I'm Mike Lewis along with DJ on the ones and twos. So we've got week 1 under the belt, so to speak. Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, there's so much to talk about when it comes to wrapping up week 1, but week 2 is right on the horizon. So I know we want to jump into that. Let's just go right into week 2. So Thursday night we were able to see the Giants go to Washington, caught an L by a field goal kick that actually was called back. They missed it first and then got to re-kick after an offside. It's kind of a sloppier game, but we did get to see Washington come away with a victory. Real quick, were there any takes from that game? I know, DJ, you had quite an opinion in pre-production about the Washington football team and New York Giant game.
Well, the Washington football team, they look absolutely amazing on defense, and the rookie quarterback looked absolutely fantastic.
Heineke, he was a one-year guy, but
but he's very raw.
Yeah.
But he is definitely in tune with McLaren.
Right, 100%.
And Paul, I had a thought on that game because Broncos won against Washington. You know, as I said, they were. But Giants. Excuse me. Broncos won, and then the Giants play Thursday night. What does that do to players when they have a shortened week?
Yeah, and I do believe that always plays a part. You know, Saquon Barkley, we didn't even know if he was going to play because of a quick turnaround like that. You want to keep your guys as healthy as possible. But from the consensus that I've got from most players, they don't like Thursday night games. It's too quick of a turnaround. Guys get a little bit older in age too. It's kind of harder to recover. So
Giants also lost an offensive lineman, the captain.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's those all those things play a part, and now they're going to have a longer break going into week 3, which is good, but at the same time they have to wear that L that they just took. Good game from Danny Dimes, good game from Taylor Heineke, but Washington comes out victorious. Now, I
feel like Danny was actually robbed on a play when he ran for it. There was blocking going on there, and they called it back. They called it holding on I believe the wide receiver. So, I think that I want to throw a flag on that.
There was a couple missed opportunities. I seen Darius Slayton drop a post in the end zone. Should have been a touchdown. You know, sometimes you can't make them all, but that's one of the plays you want to make. I think my biggest takeaway is, you know, me having the Giants as a wild card team, or if anybody had the Washington as a wild card team or as winning the division, there's going to be a difference when you get to the playoffs and you play Tampa Bay and you play Los Angeles, whatever. You play some of these teams, Seattle, those teams make the plays that they're supposed to make. So that is the difference between the teams that are on the brink and the teams that are elite in the league. Jumping into that, what we've seen in week 1, let's give out some game balls for week 1. Let's start. DJ, you want to start? Who's your game ball for week 1?
Game ball week 1 is Cincinnati's offense. Burrows, Chase, and Mixon just playing lights out.
Go Tigers.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
That is not the team that I thought they would be.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all picked Minnesota, and we all picked the Vikings last week, and Joe Burrow and company really came to play. Mike, do you have a game ball?
I'm going to give it to the Raiders for my friend DJ because they played, you know, they've left Oakland.
Yeah.
Had fans in Vegas love it,
I
think,
65,000.
based on what I saw.
65,000.
So I'm giving it to the ownership for moving to Vegas. I think they've got a great future in their new home.
Yeah, and they played they stuck with it. There's a couple of times where it looked like Vegas was going to lose it. Yep. They stuck with it. The walk-off touchdown from Derek Carr, not David Carr. Derek
Zane
Carr.
Jones.
I know, right? Oh man, big time play. So I'm gonna give my game ball. I like the David Carr, but I'm gonna give it to the Arizona Cardinals defense. Chandler Jones, he had 5 sacks. The defense had 6 sacks alone. 1 touchdown allowed, and only 248 yards of offense.
And that's a good Tennessee team.
On a really good Tennessee offense. They shut down the last year's leading rusher. So Arizona big ups to you and what they were able to do there. Let's a couple week one surprises. What do we have? What team totally surprised you from week one?
I only had one surprise, and that was the Texans were playing like a complete team. Yeah. Top to bottom, even special teams were awesome there in that game.
They have a three-headed monster at running back. We're going to get to see them this week, see if it's for real when they go to Cleveland. They go to First Energy. Love that stadium, beautiful stadium. But we're going to get to see if Houston is for real and if they can put it all together. Mike, what you got?
I thought as I predicted, Saints did win. Yeah. But I thought Green Bay just needs to play better. They played worse than I thought they were going to play. They only had a field goal.
Yeah, drove all the way down. I mean, I think that's a huge topic when it comes to what's going on with Green Bay. Later on in the show, we've got a guest coming on, and we'll be able to kind of dive a little bit more into Green Bay and what's going on there. My big surprise of week one was the Philadelphia Eagles to get that 32-6 win against Atlanta. I picked Atlanta. They absolutely jumped out in front very early, and they never looked back. 32-6 on the victory. Jalen Hurts, he had 128 QB rating. So I think that was something that was amazing there. Do we have any bounce-back teams, players for week two? Who do you think bounces back this week after last week's fall over?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Packers and a comment that Aaron Rodgers said. He said, basically, are you going to judge us on one loss or something like that? And he is right. You can lose a game and still come back. So let's see what they have to. I think they're going to bounce back.
Perfect. I absolutely agree with that. That they were actually. Aaron Rodgers is actually my pick for bounce back player of the week because they're playing the Lions.
That's a great team when you want to bounce back. Now the Lions, they did rally late week one against the Niners, but at the same time,
I don't think they have enough defense.
No, and it's you can't be so late to the party. You're playing Monday night against Green Bay in Lambeau. We're gonna see what happens. So. My bounce back is going to be the Bills. You got Josh Allen. He's heading down to Miami. Okay. Bills are I think they're gonna really make a fool of Miami. Miami won last week against New England, but for me, it was the matter of just New England making a non-Patriot play and fumbling the ball late in the game that gave Miami the ball and let them win the game. So I've got the Bills as my bounce-back player of the week. So we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to get into Flag on a Play. This is Pat and Go with Paul Browning on KPPF. Welcome back to Pat and Go on KPPF. I am Paul Browning. We've got Mike Lewis, DJ on the ones and twos. It's time for 50-50. Let's pick them. Hey, before we get started, let's look at the record from last week.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. I went 8-7. I'm not too proud about it. DJ is in last place at 6-9, and Mike holds the first place crown at 9-6 when it comes to the picks. So let's get right into it.
Beginner's luck.
Let's get right into it. We've got the games coming up at 11. Will be 1 p.m. Eastern, so you guys will be tuning in really soon. We've got the Patriots and the Jets. Who we going?
I'm going Pats.
I'm going Jets.
All right, I'm going to go Patriots. Even with that, after Warren said, no, I like it. No, no. So I've got the Pats. We got Pats, Jets. Broncos going East Coast to Jags. Who do you got?
And because they play weak when they go to the East Coast, I'm going with Jags.
I think that's a little bit of Raider hate, but let's go. Mike, what do we have? We got the Broncos and the Jags.
I know we talked about this in pre-production. The Broncos don't do so well when they travel east and also in Florida for some reason, but I'm going to stick with the Broncos.
All right. I am also going to stick with Denver as well. Let's go Bills, Dolphins on Fox at 11. I'm going Bills.
I'm going with the home team, Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins.
All right, perfect. Let's go 49ers, Eagles. I've got Eagles.
I've got the Niners.
I got the Niners too. Right.
Okay, cool. I like it. I think Philly showed some things last week. I look forward to seeing Jalen Hurts continue to play some good football. We've got the Rams at the Colts. I'm going Rams.
Rammies.
I got the home team, Indianapolis.
Okay. Now let's go to what could be the best game of the week. We've got the Raiders at the Steelers. I'm going to go Steelers.
I'm going Steelers as well, believe it or not.
Hurts.
I just, yes, it hurts a lot. But it's because we're going to the East Coast. We don't travel well, and the offense is going to be missing Josh Jacobs too.
Okay, definitely.
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
You gonna go with the Raiders? I like it. I like that. That's surprising. All right, I like it. Okay, let's go Bengals. Bears. I liked what we seen from the Bengals. I think Andy Dalton is not going to be doing it for the Bears. It's only a matter of time before we see Justin Fields. I've got the Bengals going into Chicago and making some plays.
Agreed.
I got the Bears.
Got the Bears. The Bears. We're going to go Texans, Browns. Also probably the highlight of the week. We get to see, hey, are the Browns for real? Are the Texans for real? We get to see that this upcoming week. I'm going to go with the Browns, the home team at First Energy. They're going to beat Houston.
Texans.
I'm going Texans as well.
Oh, okay, let's do it. We're going to do Saints, Panthers. Saints coming off a big-time win. I think you're only on a high roller coaster after that. You get to go into Charlotte, but I think they're going to beat the Panthers. I've got the Saints.
Saints going to come marching in.
I don't think Darnold has enough. It's the Saints.
All right, we've got the Vikes in the afternoon game heading to Arizona to take on the Cards. I think the Cardinals are still going to show us that they are a force to be reckoned with. I've got Arizona.
They're my Super Bowl team. I'm going with the Cards.
Make it 3 in a row.
All right, we've got the Falcons and the Bucks. Tom Brady.
Are we even talking about this one?
Tom Brady. I got Tom Brady. Let's do it.
Atlanta just looks awful.
Okay, so Bucks, perfect across the board. Seattle is at home against Tennessee. I think the 12th man is too much. I think Russell is too much. I think DK Metcalf is too much. I think the Seahawks are too much. We're going to go Seahawks.
I think Derrick Henry bounces back strong.
Tennessee? All right.
Titans.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to be way ahead of you guys this week. We'll go Dallas heading out to L.A. to take on the Chargers. I think we see an excellent game from Dallas. Dallas is going to show this week that they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I've got the Cowboys beating the Chargers.
I've got the Cowboys down too.
I got the Chargers.
All right, and then we have the Chiefs going to Baltimore for the Sunday night game. I've got Baltimore. Baltimore. This is the start of where we start to see the Chiefs going through the fire. So
I got the purple team too.
You got the Ravens as well. All right.
I got the Chiefs.
Got the Chiefs. Okay. All right. Monday night we've got Packers and Lions, and all in unison we are going with the Packers. All right, cool. That is 50-50. This is Pat and Go with Paul Browning, DJ on the ones and twos,
Mike
Lewis.
Show, man.
This was an excellent show. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, share it, continue to watch it. We appreciate everybody. We are on KPPF 1040 AM, 95.7 and 98.5. We'll be seeing you next week.
And on Podbean.
Correct.
And welcome back to Pat and Go with Paul Browning. Just a quick reminder, if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to our channel so we can share this program with folks across the country. Paul, let's get back to it.
Yes. So we're going to jump right back into Flag on a Play. So, Flag on a Play, we're throwing a flag on whatever is a controversial call, whatever play, news, whatever. We're going to throw a flag on it. So we have our takes this week. For week 2, what are we throwing a flag on? I can start off. I would like to throw a flag on the entire NFL and their NFC Player of the Week award, and they gave it to Matt Stafford, who did an excellent job on Monday night playing against the Bears.
In his own
right. However, I think Kyler Murray, he had 4 touchdowns. Okay, he had 289 yards passing. He ran for a touchdown, absolutely dismantled a Tennessee Titans defense that is actually pretty good. It was a great team. Arizona came out to play. I believe that should have been the player of the week. My flag goes to the NFL. Get it right next time.
All right, here's mine, and I love the way Paul did. Got to throw the flag. So there you go. All right, he's seen the flags thrown many times too.
Sometimes on him.
Yeah, a lot of times on me. The taunting. If the taunting was what it is now, yeah, 100%. I've got too many flags thrown on me for celebration, excessive celebration.
Personal foul, right?
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying.
Hey, this is league-wise. There was Bill Maher came out and said it's the singing of Lift Every Voice, and Bill Maher came out and said, do we need two national anthems? So the NFL is it's referred to by some as the Black National Anthem. Yeah. Paul, your thoughts on that? Because it is raising some controversy in the league. People are asking questions.
Yeah. So I know just for and I don't speak for all black people, but for myself, one thing that I think is it's treading the line for the NFL. It's not as genuine as I believe. The NFL had a stance against players obviously kneeling against the national anthem, and I understand that. They had a stance against, just what players were talking about with racial injustices. And then obviously we have 2020 happens, George Floyd, and there's a total 180 flip on the NFL stance on things. And I feel like the Black National Anthem is a Band-Aid of what they're trying to put over what real issues are. So for me, I don't think there's an issue to have them both playing, because in hockey, in the NHL, they'll play the Canadian National Anthem before the game as well.
But are we going to bust out the Australian National Anthem for the kicker?
Right, and I understand, and yeah, so that's one of the things where it's like, that's why I say, is it that genuine, or are you just saying, well, the national anthem is an issue for you, so here's the Black National Anthem? That's one of the things for me. I'm like, all right, it doesn't come off genuine, so it's kind of tacky to me. I think that the NFL really wants to put their money where the mouth is. They're going to put more into wanting to help with racial injustices and just wanting to build our communities up with. It's the NFL, $1 billion business. Put your money where your mouth is and start trying to help the company there, rather than here's the Black National Anthem. Be happy. That's my take. I know it's long-winded, whatever, but that's just something where that's how I feel.
I think we need to dive under the hood on this topic.
We can totally go under the hood. I know we've got a guest coming on soon, so we're trying to save some space there. But I think that's something that we can jump on back later on into the season. DJ, we got a flag?
I do have a flag on the play, and it's going to the defensive call for the Cleveland Browns in that game. They just fell apart in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm. So there was some misplay, there was some bad play calls, there was some missed assignments, especially on that Tyreek Hill touchdown. There were obviously some things going on with Cleveland. However, I will give it to Kansas City. This Kansas City super explosive offense. You can only hold them down for so long, but I do understand you. That's what we'll throw a flag on.
I thought they were at a position.
I got you. No, 100%. You want to put your team in the best position to win. Let's dive into the best division in football right now. We've got two divisions where all the teams are undefeated. It is week one, it's week two, so we've only played 1 week, so I do understand that. But the NFC West, all the teams are undefeated, and in the AFC West, all the teams are undefeated. So what is the best division? Is it the NFC West? Is the AFC West? And if so, what team do you guys feel like is the best in that division?
AFC North is the best division.
AFC North?
Yes. I think that top to bottom, they have the best teams in the league right now.
Right. Okay. I like it.
So that's where I'm at.
Who's the best team in that division?
Well, I did best team in the NFL, and I say that it's Tampa Bay until you take it away.
Okay. I like it. So my best division in football is going to be the NFC West. I do think every single one of those teams may be able to make it into the playoffs. I think Seattle looked the best, even though Arizona absolutely beat the smack off of Tennessee. But I think Seattle looks the best. Russell Wilson was like lights out. Seattle looks the best. And in the AFC West, I still think Denver will win it. But if we talk about last week, I think Kansas City had they looked the best as well.
I know we're up against the clock. I'll go AFC West, and I love the Broncos.
And you like the Broncos. I like it. So now we're going to jump into Under the Hood with our guest, Warren McCarty. We'll be able to get him on right after this break. This is Pat and Go with Paul Browning on KPPF. Welcome back to Pat and Go. I'm your host, Paul Browning. I got Mike Lewis. We've got DJ on the ones and twos, and we're going under the hood. Now, like we usually do, we go under the hood to deep dive into certain aspects of what's going on in the NFL today. And today we have a special guest on. We've got a man with 11 years of pro football experience as it comes to being not only playing, but being a coach, being a scout, being in front office, being in management. He was the Arena Football League Board of Directors. This dude's done so much. He's a quarterback trainer up in Denver, so he advises so many different athletes. He's got about 26 different NFL athletes and coaches under his agency.
What did he teach you?
What did he teach me?
Yes.
Man, I don't know, man.
How to dress?
He made me a cool guy. So, I really appreciate everything he's done for me, but not only what he's done for me, but what he's done for Colorado sports, and for especially quarterbacks. And this is a very special segment. So I'd like to introduce Warren McCarty. We'll give a little golf clap from my man, Warren. What's going on? It's great to see you. What's going on with you?
Well, appreciate the intro. Man, hopefully you'll be eulogizing me at my funeral here in like 40 years or something, maybe. Sound like a special guy. It's great to see your face. Glad to be part of Pat and Go. This is a really exciting project that you've taken a deep dive into, and I appreciate you having me on. Of
course. So I want to kind of get right into some things. You being a quarterback coach, I know I've seen you work with countless big-time quarterbacks to get them right when it comes to footwork, when it comes to throwing motion, whatever it is, and then also working on young men and then becoming, growing into men when it comes to being respectful, being able to handle yourself during adversity. When it comes to what you've already done, what do you see from the young quarterback class that we have currently in the NFL?
Man, that was so hotly contested and debated, the entire draft process, and how one man's trash can be another man's treasure, and the humans evaluating humans element has always fascinated me, and I've lived it. But I never understood why anybody doubted Mac Jones, simply because he was running pro-style NFL stuff in an NFL-type environment and producing kind of in the same way that Joe Burrow had done the year before in a very similar system and a very similar environment. That thing I never understood. I understood why people wanted to, maybe critique Zach Wilson and some of the other guys, but the Mac Jones stuff was always mysterious to me, because I was like, he's doing what you want the guys to do at the next level already.
Yeah.
What is the mystery? Clearly he can get it done.
So you definitely believe that the Mac Jones, because I know we debated a little bit last week about Mac Jones being named or being the starter, cutting Cam. I know I got a chance to play with Cam. I thought he was an excellent quarterback. But Mac Jones, you're saying Mac Jones, he looks like this is the real deal, and him being shaped with Belichick can be something that's special for New England?
Well, I think so, for a couple of reasons. I'm really good friends with Jim Nagy, who runs the Senior Bowl. During Senior Bowl week, he's texting me saying, Mac Jones is teaching guys stuff here. Like, the coaches aren't teaching Mac anything. He's teaching the other players.
Wow.
So right then, that was like, okay.
That's huge.
What I thought I was seeing is now coming true, because he's out teaching other stud senior players stuff. He when Jim Nagy's told me the coaches aren't teaching him anything, he's got this, he's teaching players. To me, that was a big sign. And then the similarities between Coach Belichick and Coach Saban in terms of their approach, their demeanor, that wasn't going to be foreign to Mac Jones. Running pro-style stuff, being around other elite athletes. I mean, think about that being the quarterback at Alabama. You got running backs that want touches. You got tight ends that want touches. And you always have more than one elite receiver.
Right.
There's already those NFL-style pressures of he needs the ball, we got to get him involved, etc. So to me, I just never felt like any of this was going to be cumbersome or Mac being in a situation where everything felt foreign. This is really just an upgrade over what he'd been doing.
Okay.
The other guys may be a little different.
So when it does come to the best quarterback, in your mind, the best quarterback that we were able to get in, that was able to get picked in this draft, the title belongs to Mac Jones?
No.
No? Who's that title belong to? I've been wanting to see
Fields.
Okay, and with another one we debated. I've been wanting to see Justin Fields. Last week we threw a flag on the Bears for.
Well, they did integrate him.
They did. They did have him.
So,
they did have him play, and he
scored
both. He scored both the early touchdowns for him. So I thought Justin Fields was a guy who should be playing right away, and I made the point that I don't want Andy Dalton to be the starter. He's temporary. And if I'm in that huddle, I don't want somebody that I know is going to be temporary. And I don't think the quarterback, I don't think he can play to the level that he can play at when he has the threat of, if he makes a bad pass or if he doesn't get his team down the field, he's getting yanked from a quarterback's position. How do you feel?
I think Justin Fields is an elite athlete.
Yeah.
He has clean mechanics.
Mm.
To me, that's very important. That's one of my big red flags on Zach Wilson and some of these other cats. He has a nice quick release. He already dealt with some extreme adversity when he was at Georgia and had the racial incident, which ultimately led him to transfer to Ohio State to begin with. So he's already had a highly publicized incident, so to speak, that he had to deal with some adversity and public pressure. And then he goes to Ohio State. He showed me toughness more than once, where I saw him take a beating and continue to play, even in a losing effort. So to me, that's one of those boxes that has to be checked. But also, he did it from the pocket. It wasn't always scrambling, running around stuff at Ohio State. He would drop back and dice you up, the clean mechanics, but adding that ability with 4.4-ish speed to take off and hurt you if you want to drop 8 in coverage, or, it's he escapes and, finds some room. He's lethal, whereas a Mac Jones, maybe wouldn't be. And I just think he has some intangibles. I'm good friends with Tony Alford on staff at Ohio State. He's been raving about the kid for 3 years. I think Justin Fields adds an element with his legs that I think would serve a team well that maybe doesn't have an elite left tackle or doesn't have an elite offensive line. If things break down, Justin Fields can hurt you.
Right.
But to me, what I love is he has clean mechanics, put up numbers, extremely tough.
Only a matter of time before he's starting, right?
Yes.
Only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
So the guys who are starting this weekend, we've got Mac Jones and Zach Wilson going head-to-head this weekend. What do you expect to see from those two quarterbacks? Obviously, the Jets have some growing to do. I liked what I got to see from Zach Williams in the second half of his game against the Panthers. So what do you expect to see in that game?
Sam Darnold 2.0. Zach Wilson is going to rip 3 or 4 balls where you're just like, oh my gosh, did you see that throw?
Yeah.
But he drifts in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He has slow feet in the pocket, and he has that long baseball windup, outfielder windup, exactly like Sam Darnold had. And that's what got Sam Darnold in trouble over and over with the Jets. You're a receiver in the NFL, Paul. You know the timing on that 10-yard speed out, the 15-yard speed out, the pro style out. You stick your toe in the turf and your head turns, you're expecting the ball.
100%.
He's a hair late because of the long windup, and that's going to cause picks. There are some incredible throws that come with that windup, but he's got bad footwork in the pocket, has a long windup, so his brain will tell him the right thing, where to go with the ball. But the difference is against, I don't know who BYU played, against Utah or Central Florida or somebody like that, that ball's complete. In the National Football League, you got a dude running the other way, waving at his mom on the big screen.
Throwing up the peace sign, right? That's what they get.
Subtly now, because we don't talk about a subtle peace sign. But they got a younger version of Sam Darnold with the identical mechanics, identical bad footwork, identical in that he drifts to the left on 5-step drops from the gun. It's the same guy. To me, it's bizarre that the Jets went that route.
And less of a running game to back him up, too. So they're going to struggle.
Yes. This is a history repeating itself in New York, so I would expect the Jets to come out with a win on this. Or, pardon me, the Patriots come out with a win on this. For sure.
Okay, definitely. And then we got to see on Thursday night, we got to see the Giants, the Redskins. Real quick, Daniel Jones. I would love to see him play good. Danny Dimes, he did play a good game. Limited the turnovers. Heineke was able to play, just make the plays when it needed to happen. They still, Giants probably still should have won the game, not jumping off sides during that field goal kick. But what do you see from Daniel Jones and Heineke? What was your take from that Thursday night game?
Well, I am not big on social media. I have a Twitter account, and I keep seeing this Danny Dimes stuff that you just referenced. Who came up with that?
It's New York.
Okay, New York. Okay, so I'm not buying into Danny Dimes. I think he's Danny Clipboard. Okay? I think he's Danny Clipboard with the pencil, not even a pen. To me, he's one of those guys that, like at high school level, looks beautiful in 7-on-7.
Yeah,
get him out there in the real game. It's a little bit hit or miss. He did play much better last night than he did against the Broncos the week before.
Yeah.
I just think he's okay.
Yeah.
And I think right now in the National Football League, because the pass rushers are so elite, because the athletes on the defensive side of the ball are incredible, because those windows are so small, and because so much of current NFL passing game is about rhythm, and then if things break down, what can you do?
Yeah.
I think it's important for people to recognize, is the dude that's playing quarterback special or not?
Right.
Your boy Danny Dimes is not special.
He holds onto the ball. Everything that you just mentioned, he holds on the ball too long, and all those things you just mentioned goes right into why it can be a very mediocre play that you see from Danny Dimes.
Consistently throws behind the play.
Yes, because he's holding on to the ball for too long. So I want to jump into one more thing. So your son, I love your kids, Blazing Blitz. And Blitz's favorite quarterback, I know, is Aaron Rodgers. Yep. And Aaron Rodgers went through a whole tumultuous. How do I say that?
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous. There we go.
Tumultuous. Yeah.
There it is. Hey, I swear I graduated from college. So he had a really rough offseason. When it comes down to how it is in that locker room, do you feel like it was one game? And Aaron Rodgers said it was one game, them getting blown out by New Orleans, who's not a bad team at all. Can that team be – I was my Super Bowl pick. Can that be a team that can take it deep into the playoffs, get into the Super Bowl, even dealing with some of these off-the-field issues and, Aaron Rodgers kind of being so vocal about how unpleasant it was for him to be in Green Bay this past offseason?
What happened years ago? Remember there was a Monday Night Football game. Patriots played the Chiefs, and Tom Brady threw like 5 picks, and they got blown out.
Yeah.
The next day, the headlines out of the Boston media and ESPN, everybody was like, he's old, he ain't got it anymore, this is the downfall of the Patriots. I think the dude's won 3 or 4 rings since that game. The last dude on the planet I'm trying to doubt right now is the guy with the bad ponytail. Aaron Rodgers he's incredible. He played like crap. His team played like crap. They came out flat. They got punched in the mouth and didn't have an answer. There are 16 more games. and I think it's going to be fine, just like it was fine when New England had a bad day.
Okay, now, that makes me feel
good. There are issues,
yeah,
and I admire the fact that Aaron Rodgers brought it to everybody's attention and wasn't afraid to really talk about it. I'm not doubting that, man. You're going to have to prove it to me that something's off there. But this is a team who went to the NFC title game without a lot surrounding him. And until over the course of an entire season, he's proven to not be what he's supposed to be. My money's on Aaron Rodgers.
I like it. It makes me feel good. It was my Super Bowl pick. He is our last year's MVP in the NFL. I don't want to doubt the man. I read somewhere that he currently, his image, he looks like Nicolas Cage playing Aaron Rodgers in a Tom Brady movie. So that's kind of that's what he looks like right now. And I'm not going to doubt Nicolas Cage, Aaron Rodgers. Warren, thank you so much for coming on. We had an excellent time talking with you. Your insight is unbelievable. I hope the listeners are able to pull from that and be able to make some educated picks coming up soon for the games that are going to be at 11. So
I'll be honest, it enlightened me because I was doubtful about these guys coming out of college being ready to play the pro game.
Yeah, so Warren can. I'm telling you, he'll drop some knowledge on you. So Warren, thank you again so much for coming, and
thank you, Paul.
And we appreciate you.
Brother.
Good to meet you on Zoom.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Perfect.
All right, you're listening to Pat and Go on KPPF.